We're unmuted? Okay. All right. Welcome to the September 13th Hopkins Select Board meeting. We have a full board. I'm Sabrina Dunlap, Anna Wells, Jeff Donahoe, sorry, Ken Traum and Stephen Whitley. Okay, so that's our call to order. So first up is points of pride. Neil?
Sure, I'll just mention two, one I've mentioned before, but right now, this is the one. The planning department is extremely busy with building, and I just want to raise up how both the building inspector and the planning director had a stack last week of building permits that came in. Renovation new homes. There's also, I think the planning board has heard 24 cases this year. It has been substantially bigger. And just thank you to all who worked that and went smoothly, I think. All fronts, so I think it was a
Norm Goupel was the only person at manning the gate. And so I just wanted to thank Norm for showing up. I forced my husband to go down and switch places with me to finish out the night, but Norm was really, the person who was there the whole night. So I wanted to say thank you to him. And then we also did a vaccine ban last Monday, and just wanted to say thank you to DHHS and the nurses who worked there for 5+ hours. I think we had 5 people come, which they said is a huge success because sometimes they have 0. Also want to say thank you to Donna Dunlop, who gave us a tour of the library last week, which was lovely. And I think that it was Rotary who was responsible for all the flags for 9/11. Is that right? Just wanted to say.
Yes, we kept that.
Labor Day and
Yes.
September 11th.
So thank you for doing that. And finally, I just wanted to recognize and send sincere condolences to the family that lost children in a terrible car accident on Friday, and send our best wishes to the town of Bow, which is dealing with that right now. So it's just very awful. So it's not a point of pride, just a recognition.
This is sort of continuing on that morbid line. I just would like to recognize the McCabe's and Tom Congoran that passed away in the past week, and they were all major contributors to the town. And also I'd like to note Janet Kraseniak has resigned Budget Committee for health reasons, but Janet has been, for as long as I can remember, a tremendous asset to the town.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to give thanks to the Rotary for the beautiful flags around town.
Anyone else?
Just to add a thank you to fire and police in remembrance of 9/11. And also thanks to the Rotary for keeping the flags up. That was a nice way to honor everyone.
And Neil and I will make sure to pass that on.
Yeah.
All right, that brings us to administrative. First up's approval of the consent agenda.
Move we approve the consent agenda of Monday, September 13, 2021.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next up's approval of the public meeting minutes of August 30th. I do have one edit.
I'll move subject to the edit.
Let me see if I can pull them up.
Second.
It was minor, but I just wanted to correct the record. It said that, I think it said that I'm in favor of always lowering the speed limit. And I just wanted to clarify that I said I'm generally in favor of lowering it in high pedestrian areas. Just want to clarify that. Yeah, it said, I'm always in favor of lowering the speed limit. Close to true, but not quite true.
Paraphrase.
So thank you. So with that small amendment, anyone else have anything for the minutes? We're good? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. All right, non-public, I have not passed these. Are they?
In that, I've seen it.
Want to start on that
Well, I'm
one?
just gonna wait until Jeff. sees them
Okay.
all, but then, Yeah. Stand awkwardly.
Don't lurk.
Bring it. Yep.
Move at the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were moving to the front.
For all the people watching. from home.
Martin K.
All the ones.
Can zoom in.
That's unnecessary.
Since we're first through the first one, I'll move we approve the non-public meeting minutes of August 16, 2021, session 1.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Then we've got 2 more sessions.
Waiting for Stephen to.
Yes, yes.
Move we approve the non-public meeting minutes of August 16, 2021, session 2.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, and 10?
Finally, I'll move we approve non-public meeting minutes of August 16, 2021, session 3.
Second.
Sorry, aren't these all August 30th though? Can the date be the 30th? I can just fix that, right? Are they being correctly on here? Oh, yeah, they're good on the,
They're good on.
all right,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, they're all 30th. Okay, good. So I'll second that, Ken. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, now we have approval of the public meeting minutes of September 1st, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye. And finally, approval of public meeting minutes, September 7th, 2021.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. We have no public appointments. So next up is old business, appointment to office.
Sure, I just wanted to, which I put in your packet. Just just do an update. Positions that are still missing people. We had posted it. Probably capital improvements is an important one.
Mhm.
EC has been looking for people.
A lot of yellow lines there.
Mhm.
That's a big,
Scaring people away.
recreation committee has a couple, but they have a reasonable amount. Senior rec sewer hasn't really functioned, but we've moved on without them. ZBA has
Hmm.
a couple of, they've had to postpone a couple of cases because when a case comes before the ZBA, it needs to be 3 affirmative votes. So the applicant certainly wants all 5 members sitting.
Mhm.
So, and I think there've been 2 where there are only 4.
Mhm.
So, if anyone has any ideas for ZBA, potential ZBA members?
Have the alternates not been able to sit?
I think
The
they showed up.
alternates, I know last week both alternates sat. Dan Rinden has been called up. He's in the National Guard, so he is out of the country.
Okay.
So that is, and one, I can't remember which, but one of the other members was available
Yeah.
last week. So there are 2 alternates and 2 regular.
Has Seth dropped out or?
Seth, I think it was trying to decide if he was going to stay on or not. So, and I haven't really talked to him recently. He's been tied up. So,
Mhm.
but I think he was trying to decide if he should become an alternate. So I think he would stay on as an
We'll
alternate.
move one of the alternates up into Dan's spot since he's out of the country and his term expires in 2022.
Yes, that's a possibility. I know Dulcie has no interest in being on the regular, is fine with being an alternate. I didn't know about
Do we have a sense of how long Dan's deployment is?
I think it's a matter of 9 months to a year, I think.
Yeah, because I see his term expires,
He's just about done.
just about done, so.
I think he had someone she was reaching out to. There's hope for maybe one person to join as a full-time, but it is hard out there trying to find
And I
people.
think, check, I think you can have more alternates than just 3 too, which might not be a bad idea for the CPA.
Mhm.
And they've been a little busier. They were meeting a couple times a year generally, and they've been meeting much more often.
Mhm. Well, if anyone has any thoughts on that.
I mean, my suggestion doesn't really help fill it, but I mean, if Dan is gonna be on deployment for that long, I mean, I think we should ask him if he just wants to step down. Just for planning purposes, so people know if he's gonna be available or not. And I guess, I mean, he's certainly welcome to run again, obviously, or to be appointed again.
Mhm.
But, that I think depends on what his availability is.
Why don't we first find out if one of the alternates wants to move up, and then if there are other folks out there who do want to take that spot, then we can ask him if he
Sure.
would like to. But unless, if there's no one to fill that spot, it doesn't matter anyway, so
Yeah.
might as well finish out his term.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it on that.
Okay. All right, so that brings us to new business. First up is the 2022 holiday schedule.
That was in your packet, basically was the basic, this is when holidays fall in 2022.
Looks good. Do you need a vote on this, or
Usually the board votes yes to
does
establish
anyone have any concerns with this?
for next year. There's
I'll move we approve the holiday schedule as proposed.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Hi.
Anyone opposed? All right. Next up is 2022 select board meetings.
Same type of thing. It can always be changed, but this is basically where everything falls, just so we can get it.
Mhm.
I know at one point, listening to the budget committee, it sounded like the budget schedule may change and they might want the school to go first or something, so that might have to change, so. But other than that, it's basically the same schedule.
There are 4 meetings in November.
Those are the budget meetings.
Oh, right, it's weekly, my bad.
Yeah.
That seems-
That's why Robin is retiring at the. Smart.
Not doing it.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot.
For
22 years.
I don't think you necessarily.
All right.
Just if that's a good consensus.
Okay, and then next up is the merit pool calculation.
Sure, this bring every year to determine. Merit pool, so for the budgeting figures, so that we kind of aren't playing with that as much.
So weird.
Isn't that right? I'll check it before I leave.
Jeff's gonna muscle it for you. Step
The last fight with the big fan.
That works.
It's something for you.
Are you equally good at breaking in?
Yes, actually. Nice work, Jeff.
Aren't you looking for,
Facilities help?
We are,
Yeah.
we have a buildings and grounds.
Hi.
help, but
I could use the best. Your free time.
I have to say, I really liked that position. And then last summer, it was 98 degrees out and they were painting outside. No, I guess.
Maybe not.
all right, so this is just like to give us a sense of what we're looking at.
Right, so this is what the percentage, the actual wages and kind of the bottom blocks.
Mhm, yeah,
shows
that's helpful.
what the amount is. I know Ken always references social security, and someone said that was looking at like 6.1%.
Hmm.
But I didn't go up that high.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I got the hint too.
2 years ago, it was 3%. Last year, we did not do a merit pool. We did a 1.5% across the board.
Cost of living.
Has the budget committee given any sort of guidance on what sort of an increase or, what's the budget committee's take on this?
No guidance yet. They're discussing if there's some kind of a number that would be appropriate for from taxpayer viewpoint. And, maybe looking into longer term time, how the increase is going to roll out, but no direction at this point.
Okay.
We're also working on some comparisons, given that the job market has changed, seeing if there's any specific positions that you may want to adjust. Part of the.
Yeah,
Do you mean increase some more than others to attract more candidates?
Yeah, if there's positions that we've become out of whack with other towns, certain positions, well, we have 5 positions open.
Yeah.
So, and we're not alone.
all right.
We generally do a brief survey an update every 3 years. 2022 would be the year to do the next one, but we'll look at it this year, given that where the market is, just to make sure.
Okay, thanks for putting this together. That rolls us into the budget committee update.
I guess I'll start with, I announced that Janet stepping down. And, Deb Norris volunteered to replace her, and which is terrific because Deb has background, and stepped right into it, and she did listen in on our last meeting. And Neil had provided me with the town's actual financials for August, so I presented those at the budget committee, and there's no real significant changes from the prior month. The budget committee spent most of its time trying to think if there is some kind of a longer term planning mechanism they could use and what they could look at, demographics, different trends, income levels. And I don't know where, I'm not optimistic it's going to go anywhere, but particularly Tom is very enthused about it and doing a good job of trying to put numbers together. There is a question about when the select board and the school board will have our regular meeting. And the budget committee had requested that one of the agenda items for that would be what townwide increase in valuation we could all use. If you remember, last year, the town, in compliance with the budget committee, used a 0.5% increase in the town valuation. The school used 0, which if anybody that was really digging into it, that's confusing. And what Neil will be talking about later is it turned out for the year, the actual number turned out to be closer to 1%. So our estimate was fine. The budget committee, I'd say, shares our concern about what's happening with St. Methodius for obvious reasons. But I don't know. I don't have anything else at this point. Neil, you've listened to it. I don't know if you have anything you want to add.
Do we have a date set for our joint meeting? I can't remember.
Don't yet.
Okay.
Without follow-up this week.
Okay. Thanks for that, Ken. Thanks for all the work you do on that committee.
Right now, it's fine. It's monthly, but soon it's going to change.
Yeah, that fall grind. Anything else on the budget?
So I would just say with the merit, maybe if you can make a decision at your next meeting.
Okay.
We should use, because we're
Gotcha.
P information is due this week and budget is due mid-October, so we're all putting our.
Gotcha. Okay.
Neil, can you put together what we've done for the merit pool over the last 5 years?
Yes.
Obviously, we talked about last year, but I don't recall what we did the one before that.
It's in the budget book, so I'll just pull.
Yeah, that'd be
That's
great. Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. So TAP grant update is next.
I don't know if you want to give an update in it. It was pretty, Anna did all the work on this, and we were number 13 and
So we did not get the TAP grant. We were not chosen for the TAP grant money, but they chose 13 projects and we were number 17. So they showed us the raw score and we were like 4 points behind, something. It was very, very close. And regional planning has said for various reasons, it's possible that some of the projects won't use the TAP money, they'll be funded other ways, or the towns won't be ready or something. There's still a very slight outside chance that we could be moved up in the rankings and still get chosen for funding. But they also recommended that someone from the town go through the, what is it, license? No. LPA.
LPA
Right, there's
training.
LPA, so someone from town has to be certified through the state if we are to go forward with TAP money in the future anyway. So Neil's agreed to do that training. It's November 1st and 2nd, and I'll do it as well. So we can hit the ground running if we need to. But I would also suggest that we take a look at the CIP and try to work it in. Because if they liked our proposal pretty well. I mean, we scored pretty well. And so it definitely is a project that could at some point qualify for TAP money. So if we are ready with funding as well, at least in part, it'd be great to be ready.
And for the projects above us, they all require a municipal match.
Yes. Mhm.
And when match available by.
So they would know in March if that.
So if 5 of them did not get it,
Probably, I mean, they would probably go to the next person, the next town on the list, because we also wouldn't be ready. So.
Does the population figure in the scoring? Because our population is wrong.
It does, but it's the general size.
It says we're less than 5,000. It says Plymouth is too, and they're not even.
Mhm.
Just didn't know if there was any advantage or disadvantage to.
Population areas, it's some weird formula that we fell into under 5,000.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not remembering.
It's interesting
why.
that the region would be a lower population than the actual town.
It
Mm,
does, but I think
It may be based on like 2010 census numbers. I mean, that's the most recent actual count. So it may be, that, but
I would think
everyone,
The state would use the state's public.
yeah, I don't know why it's that way, but
yeah,
general categories.
I can't remember now. I have to look, but there was
Yeah.
a reason or somehow some formula they used
Yeah.
that said that.
Yeah.
I think because we're not in Concord or
Yeah,
daytime population.
right.
Thank you guys for doing the training. I think that's a good thing
Yeah.
for us to be up to speed on. Do we know, have you or Neil looked at like the breakdown of how our score was put together? Like, is there anything that you think we could do,
I haven't,
made application again to kind of
right,
bump
to
up
bump
that
this one.
score?
No, that's a good question. I can reach out to the state and ask them.
Yeah, just
They can
curious. I mean, it may be that,
Breakdown.
there's not much that can be done, but
it's a good
it's,
point.
we were so close,
Yeah,
Maybe
I think that's a great idea. It could have to do with not having the funds, I mean, there's
Yeah,
a big chance to take for us. So.
But it clearly shows the valid project under the program. So that's
Right.
a very. And there were,
There were 30 something, 34,
yeah,
so right in there.
yeah.
Good.
Thanks for working on that. Okay, next up, we have town administrator updates.
sure. We might as well stay on highway funds. As part of the 10-year plan, additional funds that the state had was distributed and more money was added to the 127 Route 202
Mhm.
intersection. I think it's about 4.5 million. Basically, what's been added is what they expected to really cost, because the numbers before did not really reflect real costs. So that was, and they did that in a number of projects, but this was one of them. We've got a few enforcement issues going on that we've been dealing with, the planning department's been dealing with, just making sure people have the appropriate permits. I've been covering the human service position, and we'll talk a little bit about more of that. Public, the MS1 was in your sign file. Ken mentioned it, the increase in the assessed value to be used for determining the tax rate went up 0.95%, so pretty close to that 1%. We estimated half a percentage, so I think it's right in where we really expected it to be. No other real big changes there. We're still going back and forth with St. Louis to get that date, but they are Mike's interest is working with the people that are coming from his board, and so that's scheduled. This week, but the date.
You know, just of interest to the board, we talked about in MS1 the number of overlay exemptions, and because of the higher level, it only added maybe a half a dozen more to it.
We have 80 total, and you said there were 74 when we looked at it before, so the amounts have gone up, but it doesn't seem like the number has drastically changed. And thank you, Robin, for doing the MS1.
Yay. Done.
Credit where credit's due.
And she said it's the last time she'll do it.
You're not gonna come back just for that.
No.
Keep a copy of it.
Excuse me?
Do you keep a copy of it to remember?
This is her.
Put it on your
Yeah,
wall,
we're gonna
yeah.
frame it.
Doesn't want to remember
I
that.
don't think I did the first one in Deering by myself, and after that I did.
Thank you, Robin.
All right. So we have no one with us in person. There's 2 people on Zoom. I don't know if anyone on Zoom wants to make a comment, but we're now at our public forum. Oh, yeah, okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, yes.
Hi, yeah. How are you doing? This is Martin King from 82 Pennicote Road.
Hi.
So, hi there. So I firstly, I want to thank you for your service to the town. It's great. Really appreciate it. So I want to go back to the speeding and the speed limit on Pennicote Road.
Yes.
Yeah, so I appreciate taking this up a couple of weeks ago. In that discussion, there really was an action to for somebody to consult with the chief of police about lowering the limit to 25. And so I want to understand who's doing that. Has it been done? And what does the chief think? And before you answer, the second thing, just to get this on the table, there was also discussion about the mobile speed radar sign. And I've also requested that of the police. And I wondered, how do I know when that's going to come? And as I've said to the police, and I've said to Mr. Cass, I'm more than happy for that to be on my land if there's an issue of where it's going to be. So two topics. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks for
Thank you.
calling in about those. Both are fair questions. So,
So I will talk to the chief
okay,
now that the fair's over.
okay.
Over to that.
Yeah, so Martin, the chief has been super busy, and so we will definitely follow up and ask him about if there's any concerns or downsides to lowering to 25 on that road. And in terms of the sign thingy. is it-
I'll ask him. that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know its official name.
It's the mobiles.
The mobile speed thing, yes.
Martin, do you live on the side of the road that's going uphill, or the cars will be coming downhill?
I'm on the uphill. I'm on the side without the sidewalk. As you go uphill, I'm on the right-hand side.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, the comment I'll make is 25 miles per hour in a residential area isn't unusual. I drove through Portsmouth yesterday. There are even 20 mile per hour limits in some of the residential areas there. Since it's been smoothened and widened, or at least visually, it looks widened this road. Some cars, they don't even realize they're doing it. They are just speeding. And I realize the speed limit isn't going to be the be all and end all to solve the problem. But I think it may make people just register that, oh, it's 25. Even if they drive 30 at that point, it's better than what some of the cars do today. I mean, there are some cars that just put their foot down and accelerate up this hill.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've biked on that road enough to have been buzzed myself as a cyclist.
Yeah.
Yeah, so totally hear your concerns and
Oh, it's the video is breaking up. The sound is breaking up.
oh, anyone else for public comment? Our internet connection's unstable. Last call for public comment. All right. Anything in other?
Okay, first, Neil, any update on looking at health insurance, other options?
No, that will be part of the budget process.
Okay, and anything on the rescue squad building?
We sent a letter. We haven't reached the deadline.
And for those of you who were able to go to the select board meeting at the Kimball Cabins, there was discussion about, what could be done or should be done at the parking area and the entry road. And Lee Wilder had sent me an email, which I forwarded to Neil, about things they would like to have done to the parking area. They were requesting work on the entry road also. When it rains, huge puddles form where cars park. It's not dry for days. They're asking the area be regraded and hard packed material be added to create a better parking surface. Driving into the cabins, there's many potholes that need to be dodged. DPW comes in the spring and regrades the road, but in a short time, the potholes return and get bigger throughout the summer. So I think at this point, I'd just ask Dan when he has a chance to look into what he thinks can or should be done there, and what maybe the cost estimate is, and that may be something to address in the budget.
All right.
I talked to him about that. But I will.
Thanks for that, Stephen.
Do you have any more, Kim?
No,
Staying on Kimball Cabins, I didn't know if we'd had any update on the easement, the possibility of the easement.
No, not yet.
Okay. And I wanted to provide an update on the Webster Hopkinton solar project. Olive Wood reached out to Becky, who's our area senator, state senator, and gave an update to her. And they were kind enough to let me sit in on that. No huge news other than they are hoping to get their application to the SEC in 2022. They're going to approach Hopkinton before that to try to work on an MOU. So they are still kind of making progress, but they'll be reaching out to us when they put together the MOU for the town to review it. And at that point, we'll probably, get other town boards and staff to look at it to provide comments as well.
and when they actually do submit something to the SEC, would they be looking at the town just sending in support or testimony?
We didn't go into that level of detail in this little conversation, because that's probably roughly a year away, maybe more. So I'm sure if it was their choice, they would want us to,
Yeah.
do as much as we could to promote approval. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Neil, any update on the sale of, or the subdivision of the property down here?
I've still got 3 surveyors saying they will come and look at it.
But they've yet to come look at it.
They've yet to come and look at it.
And will they be looking at the Bates built lot? also?
They know about that, but we're trying to get that one done first.
Got it. Yeah.
Because they seem more receptive to 1 versus 2.
Gotcha.
I had one more other, sorry, Rick. I know, Neil, that you've been watching and following all the guidance on spending ARPA funds. I didn't know if there was a point in our budget process that we might have a conversation about how we're gonna do that and what we're gonna spend those monies on.
Probably before the budget,
Yep.
thinking about bringing some options, or if you have options. So, but it looks like it's lost revenue, so it can be spent largely however you wish.
Okay.
I see we have an additional person on Zoom. I don't know if they wanted to do public comment. They popped on after that.
Anyone who's on Zoom, last call for public comment.
Raise your hand.
All right. Thank you for noticing that, Anne. Anything else for other? All right, so we have 4 non-publics tonight, so we will vote to go into non-public, and after that, we will adjourn and no other business will be conducted. So we need a motion to go into non-public.
Sure. Move we go into non-public session under RSA 91A:3, Roman 2, under B and A and B.
I'll second that. And it's a roll call vote. Stephen,
Yes.
Ken,
Yes.
I'm a yes, Anna.
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you, Robin.
I thought